Welcome to Fitz Factor, the show where you learn how to master the stock market with Dan Fitzpatrick, the stock market mentor. Dan is a savvy trader. He's featured regularly on Fox Business, CNBC, Investors Business Daily, and SiriusXM Radio. In this podcast, Dan shares his insights on trading, life, and attaining long-term success in the market.
Scott and I were just talking about traveling and controlling the controllables and not trying to control the uncontrollables and not getting pissed off when an uncontrollable nails you. You just kind of do your thing.
I think it's interesting as well because that's how trading is, right? When you think about traveling and getting delayed or getting bumped or whatever it is, who knows what's happening at the airport? That's exactly what trading is like. And it's really important for active investors to be able to let go of the things that they can't control. I got stopped out of a stock. I like this company. I'm annoyed by this, but it's out of my control. So I think that traveling and trading actually have a lot in common.
Yeah, they do. It's funny. I was thinking about this as I noticed over the weekend that Palantir was being added to the S&P 500, that this is one of those control the controllable things. I got stopped out on this last week. And of course, my thought was, okay, I set the stop too tight, and all that. But the market circumstances and all that, and just kind of the way I was feeling about things, I've had a really good year and I didn't really feel like pressing it. So I'm trading small, like really kind of placing minimal bets out on the felt with each hand. So, okay, well, I got stopped out. Oh, crap. I wish I was still in. No, I was just managing my risk. I just kind of missed it on that one. You just do the best you can. Always try to do better, but never kick yourself when you don't.
And then know that you can take action later. If you really wanted to buy Palantir here today, maybe, okay, I can buy it back. You know what I mean? And so no mistake in trading, I think, is ever really permanent, except an outsized loss because you are trying to fight the trend or something like that.
What I have noticed, and I know I mentioned this a bunch of times, but sometimes you say something 12 times and everybody gets it, but then there's one person that gets it on the 13th time. And that's just human nature. But let's say you're doing really well. Your account's growing and you're getting traction and everything's good. You get used to that feeling, and you should. Like, that's a really good feeling to have. But you want to kind of look underneath and say, why do I have that feeling? Because if your feeling is like, I have that feeling because I'm making all this money, I think that kind of leads you down a dead end path, because inevitably there's going to come a time when you're not making money. And even when you're losing money, I mean, wouldn't it be nice if it were otherwise? The point is, if you're getting a good feeling because you're really making a lot of money, that's going to be a problem for you when the money stops coming in, because and I alluded to this a little bit in the note this morning, institutions are what move stocks, and they're not just constantly going to be buying forever. There is going to come a time, and they'll typically come several times during a secular uptrend, where they say, okay, well, we're de-risking now. Oh crap, NVIDIA had an awesome quarter, but we really needed it to be a monstrously awesome quarter. And so we're going to take that off. And then, oh, by the way, then we better take some more of this off and that off. And the bottom line is, they're not liquidating a bunch of stuff. They're just not buying it anymore. And they're lightening up. Like, they're just saying, let's reduce our position size. I doubt that there are too many institutions or big hedge funds, if any, that have gone from a full position in NVIDIA, for example, down to nothing. They just manage the risk. And so if you're not thinking along those lines of just managing the risk of making money versus not losing money versus missing out on making money, I talk about the two sides of risk, the risk of losing money and the risk of not getting in on making money. If you're not thinking about trading in those terms, but are instead just looking at the growth in your account, it does indeed feel awesome when things are going well, but it leads you to this path that is really, really destructive, that you only hit when the market stops spitting out money. Because the good feeling that you had came from making money. And now you're not making money and that good feeling goes away. It's kind of like smoking cigarettes. As long as you keep the nicotine coming in and the endocrine system still firing and feeling that nicotine, it's all good. But then if you run out of smokes or something, and I've been there, you run out of smokes or something, it's fine for a while. Then you start craving it. You start craving the nicotine. We can talk the same thing about food addiction or anything else. You can be without it for a short period of time, but then you kind of start to get this unhealthy craving again. And so with trading, you're making this money, you're feeling good about making money. And then when you stop making money, in fact, actually you start giving some back, you don't just not feel good. You start feeling bad because your goal was making money. If instead your goal is trading well.
If you're getting value from this podcast, click the subscribe button and sign up for Dan's free daily videos at stockmarketmentor.com.
Then you're always feeling good as long as you're trading well. And you will be trading well. And listen to me, I'm giving you pearls here, okay? I'm going to make you $1 million over time here. And you can thank me for that later after you've made your million. Trading well requires understanding, accepting, embracing, flowing with, let's be all Zen-like and all that stuff, flowing with the ebb and flow of the market, that there's going to be times when you are trading well that you're going to be really super aggressive and you're going to be thinking stuff like this. Oh, okay, I see what's going on here. Oh, I see this. You know what? I remember I saw this last time and I made money on it, but you know what? I didn't really pound the snot out of it. I really need to get in here because this is an opportunity that I see. I've recognized it before. I've made money, but I didn't make that much. I didn't make as much as I should. I'm going to do it this time. And you pile in and you do really, really well on that trade or in that phase of time in the market. That's good trading in that particular time. But if you're trading like that all the time when the market's, because you feel really good, but then the market's not giving you that opportunity and you're still trading that way, you're gonna get crushed. But if that's your idea of trading well in that environment, that's a good thing. And then when the environment changes, you go like, okay, well, I'm a pro trader here. Things change all the time. I need to kind of rein the horses in a little bit. Maybe I need to not trade at all. Or I just kind of always like trading. I feel like trading. It's kind of what I do, but I'm a good trader. Okay, so I see that the market is not conducive to me for making a lot of money that gives me that really good feeling because I'm trading well. But I still want to trade. So this is what I'll do as a tip of the hat to risk. I'm going to trade small. I'm going to be more selective about things and I'm going to have more modest goals, but I'll keep trading. But I'm trading smaller and I have a little different strategy and whatever that is. But what I'm saying is you're changing, you're altering, you're tapering your trading into a different way because the market is trading differently. Now you're trading well still, even though you're not making money, or maybe you're still making a little bit of money, or maybe even you're losing money. Like I've given some back over the last month or so, but it hasn't been very much at all. Do you know why? I'll tell you, because for one thing, I like money and I like to make if anybody has any extras, feel free to send them my way. But I like making money, especially when it's honest money and it's money that I've worked really hard to make. I like that. I deserve it. I feel like I've earned that. And so I don't like giving it back. But I also understand as a businessman, sometimes you're going to do that. Retail guys, retail clothiers or whatever, sooner or later, the best stuff, some of it's going to wind up on the sale rack because that's just the way it is. Trading is like that. But if I give back a little bit of money and it's because the market has changed and my trading has changed with it and things just kind of aren't really working out, but I've been trading small, I still feel good about that. I mean, I wish to hell I was making money, but I feel good about it because I'm not basing the way I feel about trading or the way I feel about myself. I'm not basing that on whether my account's going up or down. I'm basing it on how well I'm trading. If you are trading well, the money comes as a consequence. The money just, if you're trading well, it's like, wow, where's this money coming from? Well, the money's coming from you trading well. I'll give you a good example. So I'm at this wedding reception. My oldest is getting married, and I think I told you guys this in a video or something, a wedding reception. He's not getting married, but it's a big family reception back here. And I played a couple songs, which is first time I've actually played in public in probably 10 years. Anyway, so that went well. And apparently, by the way, one of the highlights of the evening, which I didn't really realize, was when I don't know hardly anybody there, just some of our family. And I sat down at the piano and I said, like, I'm Dan Fitzpatrick. Some of you may not know me. Well, now you do. And then I just started playing. So they seemed to think that was funny. The point is, some of Connor's friends are there. They graduated from SMU. Some of these guys are really, really smart guy, but there's two different people, no names. One you will absolutely hear about one year or another because this guy is a monster. These two are both kind of, I would say, I don't know, they want to be founders. They want to have their own business and all that. So one of them, his first name's Hunter. He builds apps, and he's been working at it for, I don't know, 8 or 9 years, because as it turns out, when he came to visit us with Connor, my oldest, the company was just starting, and he was kind of working in one of our rooms. And while he was down there, one of the apps that he had went from downloads of about like 1,500 a day to 30,000. And then the next day it was 60,000. And anyway, and so he showed me some of the apps, and they're good apps and all that. So we were talking about that. And I said, well, that actually kind of makes me a founder of your company since you did it in my office. He wasn't really buying that. But so this guy's really, really tunning it. Then there's another guy who really wants to be a startup guy and all that. He's trying this and that and the other thing. But you know what? You know what his goal is? And he learned this from his parents. And we know his parents. He just wants to be rich. That's it. No freaking original thought whatsoever. He just wants to be rich. So you tell me who has a better chance of being rich, the guy who's actually creating something that people want, and then, oh, by the way, here's all this massive money for doing something for mankind, versus the other guy who he just wants to make money. I won't continue on that line, but the point is, who do you want to be? Do you want to be this guy who's focusing on truly building something? Or do you want to be this guy who just wants to make money and he doesn't care how he does it? If you're going to trade like this guy. Trade like this guy and have a motive, a noble motive for what you're doing. Be trading to build a better life for your family, to build a better life for yourself, to create hell, take your family out to dinner next week or something, but trade for a purpose. Have a purpose for what you're doing, but don't make it just about the money. Have some kind of goal in mind. And if you have a goal in mind, that's kind of like your North Star. But just don't let the goal be, I want to have $1 million or whatever your number is. You could have that as a goal. I have my numbers, but I don't base my trading on that. I don't even think about it in those terms. So the point that I want to make is, it's really important to have some kind of a North Star in everything you do, and that includes trading. And it has to be other than making money. Making money is the consequence of trading well. Make it, and I do this. This is one of my things, because as some of you have found out, some of you, unfortunately, I can be kind of an emotional guy. And one of the things that I'm using my trading for is to help me manage my emotions, because I know that when I'm level-headed and thinking well, I'm a pretty freaking good trader. But when I'm emotional or angry or just not feeling good or something like that, I don't make good trading decisions. I don't make any trading decisions that result in big losses. I just don't do that. There's a number of ways that you can not do that. Whatever one you choose one. But I just, maybe I won't take advantage of opportunities, whatever the case may be. Have a reason for trading and make part of it be learning more about self-control, personal management. You will find a huge difference in your life. That's what I think. And, I'm not your, I'm not your life coach. I'm just some guy trying to figure it out.
One thing that I was thinking about as you're talking, Dan, about chasing that feeling of making money. It's a great feeling, but
Absolutely.
It's not something you can control, as we kind of started this talk with. And so what I would say to people is, instead of chasing the feeling of making money, chase the feeling of seeing a good setup in the market. And so if you see a good setup, make sure that that makes an emotional impact on you of, oh, I know what this has led to in the past. And if you can do that and remove that feeling from the money to just focusing on good setups, you will add so much control to your trading, because now you're focused on managing your risk and seeing a clear buy signal, as opposed to manufacturing a buy signal in your mind because you want that feeling. You're chasing that itch to make money again.
Yeah, those are really good points. It's just really important to be self-aware. This stuff's hard. It is. It's hard, but it's definitely worth pursuing, not just pursuing. It's definitely worth mastering, because this is one of those things where once you become a good trader, and what's a good trader? It means good for you. Once you start achieving the kind of results that you feel you need, then you've got that skill with you for the rest of your life, and it just gets better.
Fantastic session, Dan. Really appreciate everyone sticking around so long, but absolutely worth it. I think that this is one that people can watch multiple times and really pull out the pearls that were dropped here today, my man.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we did cover a lot of stuff here, guys. And this is really important stuff. I say this often. We're going to lose money when we're trading, but the idea is to lose less money in a shorter period of time so we can make more money in a longer period of time. That is my definition of good trading. All right, brother. Thanks, Scott. As always, you're awesome. You've been awesome on your worst day. I'll put it that way.
I don't know about that. I appreciate that, but I don't know about that. Safe travels to you and the wife back to California. I hope you're able to get on an airplane and it takes off and lands.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anyone you can walk away from.
When you were on the plane and it landed and you were on a Boeing and you yelled out something like, "I skipped death again." Yeah. And then you told me you had like the whole plane laughing at you. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah. And well, happily, they were laughing with me, not at me.
Thanks for listening to Fitz Factor with Dan Fitzpatrick. If you like this, then you'll love Dan's premium service at stockmarketmentor.com, where you can learn how to trade stocks, options, and cryptocurrencies. Click the link below and get access to real-time trading alerts, a community of traders just like you, and live training sessions each week. Get the trading edge that you need at stockmarketmentor.com.